Hi everyone, and welcome back to today's video session. I'm still Thomas, one of the fantastic IELTS teachers here at LangGo Learning System. Our online sessions are designed to help you improve a certain aspect of one of the 4 key competencies for your IELTS exam. In today's case, listening. Today we're looking at Test 3, Section 3 of the Cambridge 10 Listening Exam. Question number 21. Here's what the speakers say.
My grandfather was a doctor before he retired, and I just based it on him.
OK, but how? Did you talk to him about it?
He must have all sorts of stories, but he never says much about his work, even now. He has a sort of authority, though.
So how did you manage to capture that?
I'd visualise what he must have been like in the past when he was sitting in his consulting room listening to his patients.
Mia asked Rob whether his grandfather had discussed the life of a doctor. This could make us consider option A, but he then also says that his grandfather seemingly has many stories. He confirms that his grandfather never talks much about his work, so he can't base his character on what his grandfather said. So A is not our answer. We also don't hear Rob mention that he's been to his grandfather's workplace, so B is also wrong. Then he says that he visualises, mentions as imagine in the recording, how his grandfather works. Therefore, our answer is C. Question number 22. Here's what the speakers say.
Then there's the issue of atmosphere. So in the first scene we needed to know how boring life was in the doctor's village in the 1950s. So when the curtain went up on the first scene in the waiting room, there was that long silence before anyone spoke. And then people kept saying the same thing over and over, like, cold, isn't it?
Yes, and everyone wore grey and brown and just sat in a row.
We have to focus on the phrase, how boring life was in the village, which implies the ennui of living in the village. Before the play begins, there is a long silence which is similar to the long pause mentioned in option C. But this silence is not within the conversation, hence C is not our answer. She also tells us about the patient's clothes, which have dull colours, grey and brown. So B is not correct either. Then Mia says that people keep saying the same thing over and over, which can be referred to as a repetition of words and phrases. A is the correct answer here. Question number 23. Here's what the speakers say.
And I have to analyse how I functioned in the group, what I found out about myself. I know I was so frustrated at times when we couldn't agree.
Yes. So did one person emerge as the leader?
Sophia did. That was okay. She helped us work out exactly what to do for the production, and that made me feel better, I suppose.
And here are some key words that should help you to get the correct answer. Clear ideas, and exactly what to do. In this extract, Mia asks Rob about the leader, and she said that Sophia was one. So Rob can't be a leader. C is not our answer. Then he indicates exactly what Sophia has to do. Leadership should give clear ideas so that the members can understand, and knowing this made Rob feel better. From this we can understand that A is the correct answer. Question number 24. Here's what the speakers say.
And Sophia did some research too. That was useful in developing our approach.
Like what?
Well, she found these articles from the 1950s about how relationships between children and their parents, or between the public and people like bank managers or the police, were shifting.
In the recording, it's mentioned that Sophia took some articles to do research regarding connections among people in society. There is no mention of political and economic issues, so the answer must be B. Question number 25. Here's what the speakers say.
And did you have any practical problems to overcome?
Well, in the final rehearsal, everything was going fine until the last scene. That's where the doctor's first patient appears on stage on his own.
The one in the wheelchair?
Yes, and he had this really long speech with the stage all dark except for one spotlight. And then that stuck somehow, so it was shining on the wrong side of the stage. But anyway, we got that fixed, thank goodness.
Mia's question about the one in the wheelchair might make us choose C as the correct answer. However, the patient in the wheelchair was not injured during the rehearsal. It was actually a part of the play. So C can't be correct. Then he makes a long speech, but does not forget his words. So A is also not correct. Rob mentions that the spotlight shone on the wrong side, which has the same meaning as an equipment failure. So the correct answer here is B. Question 26. Here's what the speakers say.
Yes. So, next year, when you're in the second year of the course, you need to work really hard in all your theatre studies modules. Only students with good marks get places. You have to prove that you know your subject really well.
Mia says to Rob that he will have to try hard in his second year to achieve good marks, which can demonstrate that he will gain a lot of knowledge about theatre studies. To put it another way, he will show his ability in that subject. So our answer is E. Question number 27. Here's what the speakers say.
Right. So how did you choose where to go?
Well, I decided I wanted a programme that would fit in with what I wanted to do after I graduate. So I looked for a university with emphasis on acting rather than directing, for example. It depends on you.
Mia suggests that Rob should find a university that is matched with his ambition. We can infer that his aim of studying at university is linked to this need. Institution and university, and focus and emphasis have the same meaning here, and that should help you realise that D is the correct answer. Question number 28. Here's what the speakers say.
Then about 6 months before you go, you have to email the scheme coordinator with your top 3 choices. I had a friend who missed the deadline and didn't get her first choice, so you do need to get a move on at that stage. You'll find that certain places are very popular with everyone.
Mia takes an example of her friend who cannot meet a deadline, a time or day by which something must be done. This means that she's reminding Rob to be punctual with his submission. A is the correct answer. Question number 29. Here's what the speakers say.
And don't you have to write a personal statement at that stage?
Yes.
Right. I'll get some of the final year students to give me some tips. Maybe see if I can read what they wrote.
Rob intends to ask for some tips from the final year students to get support. It would be a great idea to ask for help when writing a personal statement. G is the correct answer. Question 30. Here's what the speakers say.
I think that's a very good idea. I don't mind showing you what I did. And while you're abroad, don't make the mistake I made. I got so involved I forgot all about making arrangements for when I came back here for the final year. Make sure you stay in touch so they know your choices for the optional modules. You don't want to miss out doing your preferred specialisms.
And here are some keywords that should help you to find the correct answer. Plan and make arrangements. Mia did mention the arrangements, but they're not mandatory ones, just choices mentioned as options in the recording. So F cannot be the answer. We cannot hear any information about recommendation letters, so B is not an answer either. Mia suggests to Rob that he should prepare or make a plan for the final year. This means that C is the correct answer. We've finished the explanation for Test 3, Section 3 of the Cambridge 10 listening test. Did you get many correct answers? If you didn't, then stay tuned for the next videos, and hopefully I'll keep helping you find the most efficient ways to check and better your score. I really hope that you found this session helpful in preparing you for your IELTS test. If you'd like to sign up for IELTS courses here at LangGo, please click on the link below. Our courses are designed to cater to your individual needs and to provide you with personalised learning pathways. Remember to like and subscribe, and please don't forget to hit that bell button to get notifications of our latest video uploads. Once again, I've been Thomas from LangGo Learning System, and I'm fairly confident that I'll see you for the next video. Bye.